Alright, now the timer is reset. I need to get another phone. So let me tell you more about the Shoemakers. Speaking in tongues in the Osbournes. Other than remember David Shoemaker fondling me that one time at the Osbournes or whatever we were doing that Sunday afternoon, I can remember him picking us up, me and the younger boys, and shaking us as hard as he could. Obviously trying to do something with demonic activity, or who fucking knows. Is he still at that stupid-ass church in Moorhead, yes or no? And let's talk about his, brother, Wes Shoemaker, and Mary Toller and their goddamn perverse bullshit. Her claiming my ass with DNA, and then Donnie Bickley sending sex items in the mail. Hooray. Where does Sam Bavard recommend we get baptized? Plumvale, honey. So shall I go into more detail about the Kehoe rape barn? Or shall I show some more St. Clair employees and their kids' nudes? I don't get paid to do my job, and obviously they get paid too much. So shall I talk about Mr. Boggs' naked body? We're related. It's called due process from what I understand, but oh well. Temporal artery, goodbye. So have fun explaining everything. Oh well. Now do you know why they denied me medical care? For yet another reason? You're not gonna narc on us. Yeah, older men. Older men hiding behind their Bibles and their badges. Please, we'll buy you female animals to screw. So fucking sickening. It's bad enough you all jerk off watching the bulls fucking the heifers. Being dragged to the satellite dealer people only for men to, cool, the latest and greatest descrambler. So don't tell me it was innocent. I'm the one who fucking lived it, not you. Donald and Debbie had a descrambler too. Donald liked to be spanked. Now do you know why they poisoned me and tried to murder me? Where's Agatha Christie or Stephen King when you need them? I survived it all, only for cops to come in. Now you'll believe exactly as we say. I'm gonna tell your women. Only for the women to say, can we watch? Hells fucking bells. No, you may not watch. And never mind now. Oh well. You're nothing but a drug addict. You need to get off the pills. Rah! Sure. Thank you all for totally ignoring what medical record there was while believing the fraudulent bullshit, while committing more fraud with off-label prescriptions for chronic pain. Oh well. So Carrie Desiree Cox pretending, Jesus practice. Reiki! That's why the Masons like to use the blindfold for those unwilling to learn. Ooh. I hope I scared Mr. Wallingford to death that night I put the blindfold on him in my bed. The women doing the men's thing with the guns? Heresy! Yes, yes it is. His unwillingness to learn. I do not like listening to Rush Limbaugh, and the least you can do is hold me sometimes, asshole. Or did they really elect you constable like you were letting people believe? Oh well. As I stated, thank you. Thanks a lot. It's not a guilt trip. You shouldn't feel guilty. Ignorance is bliss. I'm not suicidal today. It waxes and wanes. If it were cancer, people would be, oh my God, let us host a spaghetti dinner for you. Or, they're charitable things. When it's mental health or invisible stuff, they're like, you're crazy, you're more than able. Yes, quite more than able. For other people. Always have been. Just like when Corporal Werline's husband tried to come talk some sense into me. Oh, Trent. So don't tell me it's not human trafficking. If you all are so goddamn concerned, you should have done something when it could have been helped instead of wham! We don't know nothing. That left a lot of damage. Oh well. When Chelsea and I wound up with Sammy Holloway and Jeff Horde that night, Smoothie's pretty good, from what I hear. I'm surprised Jeff doesn't shave his pits, too. May they all turn so red with embarrassment they explode. Robert, what is it, Ignatius? Something I don't remember. Or maybe I do. Rigged. Bobby G. Rig. Here's your rig gig, boys. Bobby G, with a little of me. Now tell us exactly what you see.
Oh my gosh. She was exactly there. She goes, how can he justify
I don't think I'd be crying just yet, and or now. It shouldn't be too hard for them to prove their defense theory, should it? Let's ask Cassandra to all pray for us. We'll do it publicly. Somewhere over the rainbow. Somewhere over the rainbow, dreams do come true. But not with you. San Francisco, show me your golden gates. And Gavin Newsom, too. Man, hot hetero men. The S&P of the male community. Salt and pepper. Just like Risky Rand. It's hilarious. That's what is wrong with the world in its entirety, to be perfectly honest. Perfect example is hetero men, unable and unwilling to accept a compliment for what it is. Hell, if a gay man approaches you and touches you physically, of course, defend yourself. Duh. But if some guy comes up to you, man, that cologne you're wearing, you take the goddamn compliment for what it is and laugh about a fag hitting on you. Violent. Non-violence. It's called a panic attack. They can become quite crazy. Just like that, whatever that movement fucking thing is, where I sit and have the flashbacks like they're real while I'm sleeping. Being raped and attacked and flashing back to it while you're asleep. I sure didn't smother myself with a pillow when I was an infant. And it's only heartburn. Yeah, right. It's only heartburn. Uh-huh. I call Thomas Massey Temptress Thomas because I know it annoys his mother more than it does him. As it should. And he's a good-looking hetero man, too. Ralph Alvarado. Oh, well. Help him, Lord. Oh! You have no goddamn idea how much money they made from that crazy shit. Not us. I'm not doing that crazy shit. Faith healing. Drug dealers turn to faith healers. It's sickening. If they didn't go into faith healing via the religion aspect, they went into faith healing via the 12-step aspect. Absolutely sickening. Trading one addiction for another. Granted, one is usually safer than the other, but not always. What those people stole from me can never be replaced. You couldn't replace it with money. They couldn't. Being degraded and dehumanized, there's no price tag for that. Hurrah! That kind of action can get you, what, shot again? Oh well. I want to know the conversation when she was called a lesbian. Probably something ignorant. Believe me, law enforcement might have been a good field for me to go in. I would have been much more compassionate than most people. Get your sorry ass home. Law enforcement, especially those who didn't like me talking about their activities within the church and such. Cock-sucking, fudge-packing, lazy fairy. Faggot, blah, blah, blah. Well, my God is a vengeful God. I use this as the perfect example, as insensitive as it is, because Aaron was a good man, much better than his father, in my opinion. Sam Bavard threatened to physically harm his own children for sneaking extra food. Look how his son was taken from him. The God I know? That sounds about right. Just like with Mr. Boggs and Mr. Wallingford. The God I know hates me. Man, I must have been something else in a former life. And don't you just love it when I came out against the Wesleyan Church? Like a week later, Kentucky Wesleyan had that soccer player story. Well, that is nice that the other kids aren't beating him up. Very progressive to know that the other students aren't tackling and mangling another student. Like me being attacked in high school. Glad to see things are changing. For the better. Mr. Horde, you're crazy. I think at one point they were like, you know, it could have been at least common courtesy for you to share your information with us first. Well, of course it would have been much more convenient. You all could have jumped ahead a little bit more with the information that didn't pertain to you. But then liability would have fell on me, wouldn't it? There are some things about Malibu Barbie. Listen to Natasha St. Pierre. Quand on cherche l'amour. I didn't pronounce it right because I'm getting tired. I didn't sleep well last night. I never sleep. Just like Brandy. I can't sleep at all anymore. You know why. Those medications cause permanent changes. Something they fail to inform patients of. That's why they say we recommend them for a lifetime. New evidence from National Institutes of Health and other major institutions state otherwise. As I stated, those drugs work by causing disinhibition that they blame on things like cannabis. No, it was just time this story was told. Especially with a bunch of bitches being backstabbers. The men especially. Well, tell Blitzen and Santa all I want this year is Officer Merrill. Ha 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 ha. It's hilarious when he puts that protective stuff on and gets the dog to attack him in front of the kids. You could at least tell them what will happen to them. That will happen to you if you don't listen to us. But no, not to my knowledge. I do that with Max sometimes, but I don't wear protective gear. Hannah LeGree, councilwoman, Lexington, Kentucky. Hannah LeGree knows all about what I'm speaking of. Mason County recommending things like flowers in the attic, poisoning kids, and a clockwork orange being reprogrammed. Debbie Boer's brass ring pulling it for them makes a lot more sense now, doesn't it? As I said, I told my story to see change. I guess the moral for all the people, organization wise, I called out anyway, is you shouldn't be such bitches towards me while crying about your own goddamn health problems. And you should consult. But yes, Mrs. Boggs, go right on to Primary Plus. Pond to whatever. As I said, people shouldn't look at me like a total idiot. Although, I did burn my hand pretty bad that time.
Does he not understand I want him to be around his kids? I'm not gonna fight him on that. I've always wanted him to be around his kids, so why would I say I don't want him to be around his kids?
Oh well.
He says trust me, that's his conception.
No, I don't. How am I supposed to trust her? You know, like, what's the next move she's gonna make against me?
I don't need to be lawyers, and I don't think we need to be lawyers in politics.
You might need to hold the wire.
Rawr!
I'm gonna ask her. Usually divorces just aren't that nice.
So, Kim Razor, in Due Process, 30 seconds isn't enough time to even kiss one ass cheek. But anyway, the religious aspect of demonic possession goes into play with this. Crazy and sick, isn't it?